talking these days on the various, all kinds of negative attributes or the common attributes we carry in ourselves. So in the same series, today I heard a very famous poetry, shairi, a couplet, शेर of Mirza Ghalib. It says, हर एक बात पे कहते हो कि तू क्या है, तुम्ही कहो कि ये अंदाज गुफ्तगू क्या है. Every time on everything you give an indication, those disdainful looks, giving the message that who are you? You tell me, is this the way of the, what is this way of the conversation, my friend? The feelings of an excessive need to be me in all of us is a huge and negative attribute we carry. My friend, each one of us has a pile of behavior which we can define as me. It's the chronic behavior, both positive and negative, that we think of as our essential essence of our behavior. My friends, if we are the type of person who's chronically poor at returning phone calls, whether it's behavior, it is part of our behavior, or because we are overcommitted maybe, or we are simply rude, or we believe that if people really need to talk to us, talk to me, they will call again. They'll call again and again until they get through. Actually, we mentally give ourselves a pass every time we fail to get back to callers or respond to anybody calling. We are giving a feeler that, hey, that's me. Deal with it. And his change would be going again the deepest, the truest part of being. It would be authentic, inauthentic. If we are incorrigible procrastinators, we delay everything. We just very casually keep postponing things, who habitually ruin other people's timetables, their schedules. My friend, remember, we do so because we are being true to me. Their excessive need to be me. If we always express our opinion, no matter how hurtful or non-contributory it may be, we are exercising our right to be me. You can see how over time it would be easy to each of us to cross the line and begin to make a virtue of our own flaws, simply because the flaws constitute what we think of as me. The misguided loyalty, my friend, to our true nature, this excessive need to be me, is one of the toughest obstacles to making positive long-term changes in our behavior. It doesn't need to be at all. I'll give a personal experience. Some time back, in one of the important corporate sector, I was there as an HR. There's a top executive whose chief documented roadblock was that he wasn't very good at giving positive recognition to his staff or to his subordinates. As I went toward his scores with him, I said, this is quite remarkable that you have some of the highest scores I've ever seen in so many years, or on those 7 the important key areas, and then this one area giving positive recognition which nobody thinks you are good at. What do you want? He tells me, asking, what do you want to be me to do? Go around praising people who don't deserve it all. He said very casually, and very convincingly he also added that I don't want to look look like a phony. I don't want to look like a wrong guy. I said, is that your excuse? You don't want to look like a phony? He said, yes, that's what I'm saying. We went back and forth on this, and for a while, as he desperately defended why he scored so miserably on giving positive recognition, he had high standards and people didn't always meet those standards. He felt he didn't like to hand out praise indiscriminately because it cheapened the value of praise when it was legitimately earned. He thought singling out people could weaken the team. On and on this went on in a dazzling display of sophistry and rationalization. I finally, ultimately stopped and said, no matter what you say, my friend, I don't believe you have a problem with handing out praise. Nor is it that you think doing so means you are a phony. The real problem is your self-limiting definition of who you are. You define phony as anything that isn't. When you hand out praise, you are thinking, this isn't me. So I started to work with him, and daily if you question and ask, making him answer those questions. And suddenly I realized, with a consistent question answering and working on him, his scores prove that he had many qualities that defined him more positively, and he accepted them. And when he realized, my friend, let me tell you, that his stern intelligence to his definition of himself was pointless vanity. If you could shed his excessive need to be me, he can certainly become more effective and more acceptable and more successful. He wouldn't see himself as a phony at all. He could stop thinking about himself and start behaving in a way that benefited others, that benefited entire surroundings, the institution, the organization. And there he was. He began to see that his direct reports, the people who were coming to him, all those subordinates, colleagues and this thing, they were actually talented, hardworking people who did indeed deserve his periodic praise. He began to see that congratulating people, patting on the back, singling out their contributions warmly in a congregation, in a meeting or in a conferences, writing little more liberal and good words praising, writing good job done on the reports, even when he realized that report was not 100% perfect and perfect at all, and then he realized it didn't damage his reputation as a demanding boss. And all these things, my friend, these changes had a certain payoff in terms of improved morale, and performances was enormous. He could achieve synergy, everything improved. And there was a general happiness. When people are content and happy with their bosses, obviously their performance increases. My friend, remember, it is very interesting equation. Less me, more them equals success. Keep this in mind always when you find yourself resisting change, because you are clinging to the false or pointless notion of me, an excessive need for me. हर एक बात पे कहते हो कि तू क्या है, तुम ही कहो कि ये अंदाज़ गुफ्तगू क्या है. My friend, remember the cardinal principle. Peter Drucker writes in his book, the father of the management, that it's not about you, my friends. It's about what others people think of you. And if you really want other people to think of you well and high, just get rid of the excessive need to be me. Thank you very much.